My name is Denise Koch, and I am the proud owner and creative director of Snoop Designs LLC, a creative agency that has been around since 2011. Our services include branding, web design and development, motion graphics, augmented reality, illustration, UX UI, and print design. We start the groundwork of branding with small businesses and nonprofits, but are open to all companies and organization sizes. We host annual art shows that showcase illustrative collections and vendors in the communities that they are hosted in. And our company is constantly looking for partners and collaborators on not only illustration, but any form of design and marketing. I'm originally from Jamaica, Queens, and I now live in Costa Mesa, California. I've been drawing my entire life. As early as I can remember, I was drawing in books my mom had laying around the house, and I was constantly creating stories and plays, and I would force my brother and sister to perform with me. So I guess you could say I was always creative. I didn't grow up with a lot of money. I come from a middle-class home. My mother is from Harlem, and my dad is from Jamaica, and he came to America when he was a teenager. I'm the oldest of three. My brother DJ is into soccer, and my sister Deandra is a vet tech. Being the oldest, I often felt alone, and it didn't help I was bullied growing up. But I found that making fun for myself and always looking for new things to do kept me entertained. Despite how I was raised, I will always attribute a lot of my life experiences to my parents. They did a lot to just make sure that, we were well-rounded and we knew all the things that we were capable of doing. And they always made sure that we were busy. So they had us doing a little bit of everything. So I was in dance, I was ice skating, gymnastics, garden camps, summer camp, you named it. And my mom even put me in an art class on the Upper East Side that was free. And so every Saturday, she would get up and drive me from Queens to the Upper East Side so I can go to this class for an hour so I can, work on my skills. My grandfather exposed me to the world of entertainment because he's an entertainment editor. So we would go to movie premieres and concerts growing up. And this really just exposed me to like a broader world than, my little home in Jamaica. And my grandmother purposely kept working well over her retirement age because when I was in high school, I went to the High School of Fashion Industries on 24th Street, and she worked at New York Life, which I think was like on 27th Street. And so she just wanted to make sure that I always had somebody that was nearby me in Manhattan. So my family is a huge part of my success, and I'll always be thankful for them. So back to me in art. I got into tech when I was a preteen. My parents would yell at me all the time because they would be like, "You're on that computer for hours." And I would be like, leave me alone. Because back in the day, we didn't have social media or our phones. So I was really figuring out a way on how to download the latest song or how to burn CDs or how to build a MySpace layout and editing photos from the computer. And I get it though, my parents were not from the technology generation, so to them I was like wasting time on the computer instead of going outside. But what they didn't know is that this is what brought me peace. It also encouraged me to become more social online, since in real life, I wasn't the most popular of people. And, it just encouraged me to have true relationships with people and true relationship with friends instead of, just trying to have the latest and greatest thing and look cute. This also was the beginning of my design career. I went to the High School of Fashion Industries for fashion design, and I quickly realized that I didn't like constructing garments. I really rather do fashion illustration, but my dreams of becoming a fashion illustrator were unfortunately cut short because they were telling me that there's not a lot of money in that field. I always made money from the day I was 13 working my first job. So while, I love to do fashion illustration, I also want to be financially responsible, which, now looking at it, that's pretty kind of like a toxic way to think when you're a teenager. But, I had to worry about money. Like, my family wasn't rich. And I knew that my parents also had to focus on helping raising my brother and sister. So I knew that I wanted to enter something that would always guarantee me money. So my senior year of high school, I was looking for a career that merged both art and technology, and that's how I found out graphic design or communication design. And I went to the University of Bridgeport Shintaro Katsu School of Design, where I obtained my BFA in graphic design. And that was really the beginning of my professional career because while, yes, I was going to get my degree, I was also like running a business, meaning I was collecting money from people. And it wasn't just like, oh yeah, let me slide you $20, you do this on the side. Like, no, I was creating estimates, I was creating invoices, I would design party flyers, logos, Snapchat filters, and eventually became the official graphic designer for UB's admission office. I joined Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and one of my sorority sisters was my first employee. I would pay her money so she would help me write estimates, since I was getting so many people reaching out to me for designs, and she would like follow up with people through the emails. And that was really just kind of like my first experience with like leading a team and teaching somebody how to run a proper graphic design business. My senior year of college, I went on to create a massive book that I donated to the University of Bridgeport. And then I started to really get exposed into different forms of graphic design. Most importantly, augmented reality. My journey is that I've been in so many different industries. I worked from automotive to sports to entertainment to education. And with augmented reality, I got introduced to that in 2017 as a pitch campaign, which unfortunately was shot down because I think during that time it was really ahead of its time. So I just knew that I really wanted to do this because I really love tech, I really loved art. And so that's when I went ahead and introduced augmented reality into my own pieces. I already started doing solo shows in 2017 when I launched my website. And in 2018, for my next show, I definitely wanted to do more of that augmented reality capability. So I went ahead and started animating all my pieces, and I brought them together through this app called HP Reveal. And with that, I wanted to show like my style of work, but also make it move. And I got into doing solo shows because I realized that galleries and museums wouldn't want my style of work hanging. I also didn't like the politics of the traditional art industry. And I wanted to make art more accessible for anybody, no matter where you're from, what your social economic status was. And that is really how I entered art and tech, and that's how I was able to merge augmented reality into my work. The problem that I'm trying to solve is the community doesn't have access to virtual reality events. The art industry is antiquated and loses the interest of the masses due to their inability to connect with new technology. There's a lack of diversity in the art, tech, and virtual reality worlds. Many students don't know that you can enter the virtual reality world as a profession. Art shows a lack of community involvement and often perpetuates the idea of gentrification, and there's a disconnection of the East and West Coast art worlds. A Decade of Dimensions will not only be an in-person event in downtown Los Angeles, but it will also be streamed online in a virtual art gallery that will allow users to walk around the gallery as if they were there in person. Adding augmented and virtual reality to the art brings the industry up to speed. This event will hopefully inspire museums and galleries to add virtual components to their pieces, because not only will that help with engagement, but that will also give access to those with disabilities. As a Black woman, I want to be the first breakthrough face of diversity in this industry. It is still heavily gatekept, but I want to break through the doors and allow others with no access to this industry to work in it. I want to do a big push with high school and college students from predominantly Black and brown communities to give them an opportunity to become engaged with the work and hopefully inspire students to enter the industry. I want to bring art to communities without altering the makeup of a neighborhood. This means I don't want to create disruptive art that displaces communities and cultures, but rather enhances what was there already. As an artist from the East Coast, I want to introduce LA to a little piece of me, like what is New York about, what do I like to do, where are we from, and hopefully bridge the gap between the art worlds. I've been doing augmented reality since 2017, and I have the spirit to teach rather than gatekeep. If I can merge art and technology together with the community that I come from, I can bridge the racial disparities in the art and tech industry. Thank you so much for watching this video and your support of Snoop Designs for the past 10 years. We wouldn't be where we are without the support of you guys. We are also starting a crowdfund for A Decade of Dimensions, and we have a list of different ways that you can donate. We hope to see you at the show.